I have no filter these days. Yeah, it's a fake way of bonding, really.
Quiet.
So,
Did not go well.
and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back that led to my total emotional breakdown.
Thank you, Melissa, for listening to your intuition. My mom being dead.
And Angie.
Just see you next time.
See you next time. Okay, let's go fast. 1, 2, 3.
Unquiet soul. Okay. That flavor in a Olipop. Okay, welcome back to Unquiet Soul. We're talking about our favorite thing to talk about these days, Olipop. I'm drinking a Rich Rush.
And I'm
Angie's
drinking a cream soda.
And we're not sponsored, but we're manifesting one. So there you go. You all will be able to come along with that for us.
You know, if I was a big brand, I would skip over the cheesy influencers and go straight to people like us.
I would too. And
I mean, that's just me.
honest to God, they kind of are starting to shift that way because they have such a massive marketing budget. This is what I'm hearing anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
because why not just be like,
Yeah.
hey, let's take our chance on regular people.
Uh-huh. So, Olipop, we're here for
We're
you.
here.
You're here for us. You know, it's gonna be good.
Also, send some of your other flavors to Hawaii because I'm learning we have a limited selection because we don't have Ridge Rush
You
or
really
ginger. What was the other
do.
one? Ginger lemon.
Ginger lemon.
We don't have that one.
Oh my God, and you need that one so much. It's so good. It's so good. And it makes you just feel healthy. You're like, I drink ginger. So
What is it about ginger? Like it has like that kick, but it's like, oh, I feel healthy.
yeah, I don't know, because it's different than ginger ale, even. Like, I don't feel
Yeah.
that way when I'm drinking ginger ale.
No.
Maybe only because I've only ever drank it really if I was sick. But like the
Yeah.
ginger lemon really just reminds me of the health shots, and I love to take those. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm so healthy. Just making good choices for myself. Look at me.
Well, even with Olipop, I'm like, well, it has good probiotics and so
It
it's
sure
healthy.
does. And fiber.
Yeah.
Fiber. Okay, which for us Geminis is really important because
Oh,
our
it is?
gut takes a massive hit from our fucking crazy ass nervous systems. Okay.
I like how it says botanicals. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds fancy, so I like it.
I mean, doesn't botanicals mean like flowers?
Flowers?
Like plant life?
Obviously, yeah.
Even with my glasses, I can't read this shit. So
Yeah. Nice. I love it.
anyway, you'd think we were sponsored the way we're like, so anyway,
I know.
our Olipops.
We're manifesting it. It's
Exactly.
act as if, right?
Yes.
Because
Go
if
and
we
get
were
your
sponsored, we'd
Olipop
be doing the
today,
exact same
fella.
thing.
Yeah, you'll love this shit. I really fucking do, though. That's the thing, is I really do. They'll love me too. They just don't know yet. So, you know,
they
we'll get
just
on
don't
that.
know.
We'll get on it. How have you been? Anything new?
I've been good. I feel like something is coming because, so this is a continuation of last week because, and also it almost seems too good to be true because I've been seeing a lot of yes license plates. Like I saw even more since our last conversation. And then my logic kicked in because I'm like, well, what if they just issued a bunch of those recently and like they,
Well,
you
let's
know.
use another word for logic: resistance.
Okay, there you go. But then I caught myself and I'm like, why can't I just accept that I'm seeing a lot? It doesn't matter why or whatever. And then yesterday, I went to the gym and I just had this random playlist playing in my car. And it was playing stuff from, do you remember that song, It Ain't Me by Selena Gomez?
Yeah.
And okay, so that came in on my car, which is kind of random because it's an old song and it was
Yeah.
popular around the time my dad passed away. So all the songs from that era just kind of have like a really specific feeling for me. So I'm in
Yes.
the car on the way to the gym and that song played. I walked into the gym and that song was playing, the exact same song. And then something else happened. Oh, and then there's this other
Wow.
song. It's like a local Hawaiian song. I also heard it in my car on the way home from the gym. And then I went surfing yesterday and there was this storefront playing the exact same song. So twice in one day, I heard two kind of obscure songs because they're both, neither one of them are modern songs that you would hear every day.
Right.
But both songs I heard twice in one day, and I'm like, "This is not a coincidence." So it's like
That's so
things are moving,
cool.
and I'm just kind of open to accepting whatever it is.
Yes. Well, I am still plagued with PMS
Mm,
starting a little later this month, so that's super fun. And so I'm not open to much this week. I've been real bitchy, but um it's weird how you just set an intention and say
yeah,
like,
just say it out loud.
here it is, and shit just starts happening. Like, I think I got another new client. Like,
What do you mean
I
you
mean,
think?
like, it's so bizarre. I mean, and then something else happened. I know I texted you about something. Oh,
The
okay.
lights.
Well, yes, the lights,
Oh,
but, um, someone commented on my YouTube and said, "How is this channel not blowing up?" And let me tell you, I was like, "Are they being sarcastic?" Like, and then I was like,
oh,
"Okay."
I've done shit like that too. Yeah, it's
And so
just
I was like, "Well, you get to decide." Regardless of what their intent was, you get to decide how they meant this, right? And so I was like, why is this your natural assumption that they're
I do
being
that too.
sarcastic? You know what I mean? So I said, how do you want to respond? I will tell you, I went with a middle of the road response so that if they were being sarcastic, I didn't look really stupid, but I just said, we're in a building phase. LOL. But I was like, I'm gonna believe. And when I told my family about it, they were like, I don't think that was sarcasm. And I was
I
like, oh my God, you don't?
I don't know. Yeah, just from an outsider point of view, because I get what you're saying. I've gotten comments that are seemingly positive, but there's a part of me that's like,
Oh, I've
is this
gotten some that
sarcastic?
were yeah.
But in all fairness, I think it's because there's so many mean comments that it's really hard to decipher. But how can you take that negatively? I don't know. I think it is positive.
What's going on here? Well, guess what? Last night they responded to my comment
And
and they said, "Well, I'm gonna subscribe right now, help you out."
oh, nice. And I would have been like, can you share with everyone too?
God, I should have.
um,
I was just like, "Oh, thanks." But I've been getting like 2 or 3 subscribers a day on YouTube over the last
yeah,
week.
my YouTube subscriptions, like, I think I got like 10 last week, which I usually don't
Yeah.
get that many in a week.
Yeah. It's kinda crazy.
Maybe people
And
are hopping on YouTube for the summer
well, I think everyone's getting really overwhelmed by TikTok, like, with all
and
the new stuff
Instagram.
and yeah, and I don't use Instagram enough to know. I know that some people watch Reels the way I watch TikTok, but I don't. I'm really only on there to check notifications. I scroll for maybe but only on my feed, for
Right,
maybe,
me
like,
too.
5 minutes, and I share a bunch of shit on my story if I like it, and then I get off. Like, every time I just go if I have a notification or if I'm posting, but I just don't use Reels like that because so many of them are either the same as TikTok or
Yeah.
they are TikTok's leftover, like, like, it's been on TikTok forever, and then now it's finally on Reels or whatever, so I just don't use it that way, but I think that people are shifting, and the meta algorithm, I mean, I think the only reason my stuff gets pushed out in a bigger way now is because of how big my posts about Jake have hit, but,
Ugh,
like, otherwise, I've never had great success on there. I mean, I get more in the last 6 months than I have ever, but, like, it's still not great, and I'm trying not to care too much about that because, again, numbers don't mean you're getting active,
right.
engaged people, or people who are even aligned with you. Because, like, if getting a fuck ton of people means a fuck ton of shitty comments, then whatever, But anyway, so I've just been, I had been hearing the age of Aquarius, that technology would be changing, and now with Uranus moving into Gemini, which is my 3rd house, and it's supposed to do some stuff for you too, but it's like the way I'm delivering my communication and technology will change. And so I've been kind of just open to seeing what the new platform's going to be, or is it going to be a revival of YouTube? You know, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm just staying really open to it and trying not to be too overwhelmed to say like yes to stuff, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'll be interesting. I will say I'm really, maybe this is showing my age, but I'm really disgruntled with how Instagram has evolved because I used to
Really?
love Instagram. And again, this was back when it was just pictures, and I get the evolution to videos and other forms and stories, but just I used to love Instagram so much because it was so positive and supportive, and now it's just like all the hate and all the other stuff that goes along with it.
I guess I would say on that note that I liked how my experience was curated by me
Oh,
before.
agree.
I
Like, I
didn't get
used
all
to.
these, "Do you wanna see this? Do you wanna see it? Do you wanna follow this person?" Like, if you didn't follow them, you didn't see them, and I miss that. I don't want to see
Yeah,
people all the
agreed.
time that especially, like listen, the grief space is weird. There's a lot of different types of grief and a lot of different manifestations of grief, and I'm not in alignment with everyone just because they're grieving, and their shit is triggering to me sometimes. Like, they have
Mhm.
very staunch opinions about things and whatever, and I'm like, "Ugh, it's just a little much for me because I'm still a little frazzled, you know? So, like, their very
Yeah.
strong opinions just get me a little bit sometimes, and I'm like, "Okay, you go
Like
be
what?
over
Do you feel
there with that."
comfortable talking about any of it?
Well, I feel like an asshole for saying this, but I'll just be really honest. I would say the normalization of some unhealthy coping skills.
Mm.
Like, I'm gonna beat my grief with rage, you know, shit like that, or
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm strong and I'm tough, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm like, I feel you, dog. I feel you, but like, I don't want to be strong. I want to be really soft and squishy. So like, I just don't have any place for that. You know what I
No,
mean?
I get it. That makes sense.
And it's being funneled to me right now, and I don't want it. I just
That's
don't want to see a bunch of shit I didn't ask to see.
I know, and that's such an interesting point of view because I remember when my dad died, which doesn't even seem like that long ago, there was nothing on grief, like, not on Instagram, not anywhere. Even all the books were like, what is it, The 5 Stages of Grief? It's like
Right, the bullshit.
and yeah, and so now we're at the other extreme where it's almost like there's too much, and yeah, it could be triggering.
Yeah, I think that it's okay to find your community. I mean, there's too much of everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think there are
It
so
shouldn't
many
be
lanes
pushed on
to
your
take.
feed.
Yeah, that's my whole thing is like, be that's fine. Like, we can feel differently about this, but, like, I miss when not only did I have to follow them, I had to go to the post notifications to turn it on so that I could
Yeah.
see their posts. I don't want I've unfollowed so many people on Instagram over the last 10 years, and I just don't wanna be inundated with shit I don't wanna see, and it is the reason I don't spend very much time on there. I used to spend a lot more time and, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because, I mean, the FYP on TikTok could be viewed as similar, but I just think, like, that algorithm knows me better, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, it's just different because I get shit that I don't wanna see on Instagram, and then, like, even the stuff it thinks I'd wanna see, it's just not what I wanna see, like the grief stuff. I've only found a couple of grief accounts through that where I've really resonated with their shit, and I do follow them, but, like, afterwards, but, like, for the most part, I'm just really turned off by it, and I hesitate to say those things because I don't want anyone to feel like it's a judgment. It's not, but for me, that way of grieving did not serve me. When I was grieving before, I was completely dysregulated and just kind of winging it and just live by the mantra of like, "Oh, I shall survive."
Yeah.
And there was a level of suffering involved that I don't feel like was helpful to me. And so I'm trying to reduce the amount of suffering that I experience through grief. And so That's great y'all feel strong. That's great. And I mean, I don't not identify as strong, but it's not that, and I don't need it, you know?
Y No, that makes a lot of sense.
So annoying. Anyway, what else?
I'm trying to think. I don't know, I can't think anything off the top of my head.
Well, I was in a real shit mood because my fucking schizophrenic brother is annoying the shit out of me.
Mm,
I'm told you I'm about to start my period, which I started spotting last night, so I really am about to start. But um I've been in a shit mood and he gets paid usually on the 3rd, but he had been calling a bunch last week to where I blocked the number he was calling from because he was calling from a town that's like 15 minutes away from where he usually is, and I was like, "Did he go to jail?" And so I
mm,
looked it up and he didn't, and so I was like, "Well, he may have been hospitalized." So I blocked the fucking number because, like, I don't have anything to give you, brother. Like, your check's not in yet, and I'm not driving all the way down there to pick you up and drive you somewhere I don't feel safe, you know? No.
yeah.
So then I listened to one of the blocked voicemails just the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I was in the hospital for a couple days. Call me back or some shit." Well, how am I gonna call you back? Like, what? And so then, um, he started calling from a different number a couple days ago. The first, I didn't even check to see if his check had gotten deposited because I was like, it usually isn't. But then I didn't think about the fact that the 3rd fell on a Sunday. So I was like, oh, so Saturday it probably was there. But he called, like, Charlie had a band concert and stuff. He didn't call till way later in the evening. It was like, "My check's supposed to be here tomorrow, blah, blah, blah," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck." So then on the days where I have to take him his check, it's like a whole day of dread,
Oh,
which
so
he
you
didn't
do
end
this
up
every
calling.
month?
Every month.
I
Yeah,
okay,
it's a Social Security disability check, and it's deposited into a savings account that I own, and so
got
I
it.
took the money to him because he can't fucking be responsible
Yeah,
to have a card or anything else. So, yesterday, I'm dreading it to where, like, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit around waiting all day to hear from him and figure out where I'm meeting him because it's always just a whole fucking thing. So I like I went outside and sat in the sun, read a little bit, whatever, just did whatever I wanted to do. And he doesn't call till almost 10 o'clock last night. So I didn't fucking answer because I'm like, are you shitting me? I'm not driving down there at 10 o'clock at night.
yeah,
So today I get up and I'm like, okay, I have some time before this. If he calls, then I can get it there before then. Of course he doesn't call. Of course he doesn't call until I'm in the shower. And then he's calling from some like no, he called from the number he's been calling from the last couple days, but then I blow dry my hair and he calls from some girl's phone, some random passerby, and I get a fucking voicemail and she's like, "Hi, my name's Stephanie. I'm with your brother and he just wants to talk to you and blah blah blah. So if you could call me back." And then sends a fucking text. And I'm like, where do I call back? Because I hadn't gotten the voice message yet. She's just calling or texting now and like blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, where do I call? She's like, "Call this number now." Okay. And he's like, "Hey, I'm at such and such." And I was like, "Well, I can't come right now. And I have evening clients and I'm not going to like rush between my client after you and then whatever to come
yeah,
back. I'm just not doing it because he's like 30 minutes away. And there's the stopping to get the money out of the ATM. It's a process. And I didn't want to be rushed to do that. But then because he's standing with this fucking lady, because I had decided while I was blow drying my hair that I was gonna make him wait until tomorrow. But because he's standing with this lady, I'm like, I can be there about 8:45 tonight, and I'm already pissed about it. I don't want to do it. And I'm so fucking tired of dealing with it. And it's getting to where like I'm not answering the phone in between the 3rd because I used to answer all the time because like, oh, he must be lonely or whatever. But if
yeah,
I don't say yes to something, he doesn't call. Like, when I started just saying no every time, he stopped
yeah,
calling. So I'm like, "Oh, okay, so then he really does just want whatever I can give him." Like,
yeah.
that doesn't hurt my feelings, he's schizophrenic, but, like,
But
it
it does
also
in a way,
let me
though.
know, like no, it really doesn't. He's,
Oh,
like, not a
really?
person. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, so and he's out there literally living on the streets. He's in survival mode. I get it. But I don't have to, like, feel like I need to offer companionship either, because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, okay, he really does just kinda want whatever I can bring." You know what I
So
mean?
it's, like, truly transactional.
Yes, yeah. And that's fine once a month, I guess, but, like, the fucking starting to call me every day the week leading up to it because he wants me to say, "Yes, I'll give you this," or whatever, and I'm like, "Brother, you're so fucking resourceful. I already know that you will find a way. If I don't
Oh,
give it
yeah.
to you, you will find a way. You always do, and I can't do it. I cannot fucking drive 35 minutes to d I don't have it. I don't have it in me to do it, and I've been dealing with this since I was fucking 18 years old, and I'm just so fucking tired of it. So tired of it. I don't wanna do it anymore, but I don't even know how, like, to begin to not do it anymore
Yeah.
because then he'll just fuck his Social Security all up again, and it's a
But is
whole
that your
thing.
problem? Isn't there like, he can't
No.
be the only homeless person who gets a check like that. Like, there has to be
Well,
a way.
they won't do the other way because the times that they have assigned the money to a payee before, the payee wants to do responsible shit with it, like dole it out over,
Mhm.
twice a month or whatever, and he gets violent. And then he loses everything. So,
Yeah.
like, I went through all this trouble a year ago to get him an ID and his Social Security card and all this shit, and he fucking lost it all. Just lost it.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking tired of it. I don't wanna deal with it, and I make either Bryson or Brian go with me every time because I just don't feel safe with him anymore. Like, if I say no, he gets really mad, and I don't know what he'll do, you know?
So why are you
I
putting
mean,
yourself in
last
a
month, he had
situation?
just gotten some medicine. I think he had been in yeah, he went to jail last month for a couple weeks because oh, and this was actually really sad, but I guess, he's homeless, so he's, like, dirty, and he wears, like he likes to wear slacks. He likes to wear blazers too. I guess it makes him feel important. Anyway, so he had been wearing these ones for a while, and I guess the crotch ripped, and I think he was outside panhandling outside of Walmart, and maybe you could see something
Oh,
private part related, I don't know, but so he got a charge not for, like, public indecency, but a different kind of indecency, and so when I looked it up, I was like, "Oh, that's what it was," and then whenever I saw him, he told me that's what happened, but so he went to jail for that, and they just
interesting.
gave him 30 days so that he wouldn't have to come back and, like, go to court again or whatever because he's not gonna show up, so, like, that would just equal more money, more charges, whatever. Um, so that did make me sad for him, but, he had been medicated, and you could tell, so I did drive him a couple of blocks down, but, like, I don't want you in my car, man. I just
Yeah.
like, not when I just don't. Not even when someone's with me, because even though schizophrenics are typically pretty nonviolent, when you live in the state of survival that he does, and you're that delusional, it's unpredictable. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It just doesn't sound safe.
No, and he, like, cussed at me and told me to go fucking kill myself, like, over the summer because I said no to driving him somewhere, and it made me really nervous, so I was like, "Ooh, I'm not you fucked that up, brother. I'm not doing that." And, like, I'm the only person he can contact. Our other brother, I'm not gonna be rude and give him his phone number, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't want him to have it, and I don't blame him, but he has mine because he got it from the fucking Social Security office.
Oh, are they allowed to do that?
It's from old paperwork, and I've been on his fucking account
Mm,
for so many years, and I've had this phone for so many years,
yeah,
so
I know, I've had the
I'm like,
same phone number.
yeah, I've had this since I had, like, a full-time cell phone. I got it in, like, 2007, 2008 maybe, and because before that, it was, like, hit or miss because cell phone plans were shitty, you know? They were expensive, and I'd always just be running them up. I'd be like, "Oh, I love to talk in the car," and it'd
Yeah,
be
because
like
back then it's like 'cause now it's
Yeah, the
unlimited
daytime
everything.
minutes were so expensive. Remember when unlimited became a thing? See, the kids
Yeah,
these days, they don't
they don't get
know.
it. It
They
was,
don't
like,
know.
after 9 during the
Yeah,
week, and then the weekends, yeah. And, like, you
you
had
got a
limited
hosting, you
text
don't need to make a
messages.
call. Yes. Texts were so expensive. Yeah, that's why I'm like, "Oh my god." When I got this phone number, it was a Cricket phone, so it was like $25 a month, unlimited call and text. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
before
I'll take that.
smartphones, cell phone plans were like $30 a month.
Yeah. It was crazy. Oh god, I remembered it so well. I loved it. I was like, "No more $1,000 cell phone bills, because that's what
Oh
would end
my
up happening.
god.
Bitch, you know my dumb ass. I was constantly doing something like that, constantly
That's
running up a
insane.
cell phone bill. Constantly. So, yeah. So, I've had this number for a long time, and that's how I got a hold of my number again. And I mean, like, I wanna know if you're alive and shit, but I just I don't wanna deal with it, like, we don't
Yeah, like,
live
he
close.
involves you with too much of his own drama.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry. The I'm sorry about all of it. I'm not like, I don't wish this upon anyone. I feel empathy and compassion for you, but that's where it has to stop. Cause like, I feel empathy and compassion for my own experience too, and god damn it, I just don't have it in me, man, especially not when
Yeah.
I have PMS, which, rolls around the same time every month when he gets his fucking check.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't deal with it. So I was like, because that literally just happened right before we started
Yeah, so you're
recording.
already irritable.
Yeah, I was like, damn it. So I guess I'll be doing that at 8:45 tonight. That'll be good, but I'll still get my nap after my client, so that's good. Because I was like, do I sacrifice my nap and not have to do this late, or do I not sacrifice my nap and just do it late? I need my nap.
Decisions.
I'm so tired.
Okay, so on the topic of emotional and physical safety, because I feel like we've talked about this in various degrees in the past, but I went down a slight rabbit hole this weekend on YouTube because in the US, they talk about the Epstein files and they're kind of leaking out the different players or whatever, but nobody's being held accountable. Nothing's really happening. There's still like a lot of secrecy behind it. Well,
Mhm.
I found out 60 Minutes Australia, they've been interviewing
Mm.
survivors and victims and, like so, like, they're, like, telling all the story and spilling all the tea
Wow.
because they don't give a shit about America repercussions or anything. But anyway, so I've been listening to videos of interviews of survivors and victims, and it's so interesting because, well, and also it's not surprising. You will not be surprised about this because in the grooming process, because it was very intentional how they were groomed. And in the process, all of these victims say the exact same thing. Like they knew it wasn't right, but they were too afraid to speak up because as young girls were told, like, don't make someone else uncomfortable, don't hurt someone else's feelings, and so through this grooming process, because we're not told to protect our own emotional safety, they just kind of went along with it. And then they got too deep in it where then they felt like they really couldn't say anything. But I'm like, that's really scary and dangerous how society as a whole has groomed. And I'm sure this happens to men to some extent, but especially, we can only speak to the woman experience of how as little girls we're like, because I think we've talked about before, like you're told to like hug your like relatives that you don't even know and you feel all weird and
Yes.
uncomfortable, but you don't feel like you can speak up. And I'm like, this is really a dangerous thing that we're not told to protect our own emotional and physical safety. Cause like this is the kind of shit that happens.
Well, so this is actually a rant I love to go on a lot because of the repercussions of it. But my thing is, I want to talk shit about the boomers. So the boomers, what they really instilled in the elder Gen X is the idea of looking like good parents. Because the thing about that whole say thank you, say please. say blah, 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 give them a hug. All of that really is. Listen, I'm saying this as a person who did the same shit for the exact same reasons, okay? When my boys were little, I did all the same to make sure you're saying please, saying thank you, tell them hello, blah, blah, blah. Because I was like, oh, and they're gonna be like, you got a good mom.
Yep.
You're doing it right, mom. And when you are a mother who is codependent with her children and cannot receive validation from anything other than shit like that because you have no internal force of
My
validation.
mom.
Yeah. I mean, for real
Yeah.
though, then that type of validation means literally everything to you. It's the only shit you live for. And I did stop that at a decent time for them as I started to understand. Like, honestly, it took crazy ass Gary V, saying, like, the only reason you guys want your kids to go to college is so that you can look good. And I was like, shots fired, because that's true. It made me start evaluating, like, literally, and I didn't even follow him at the time anymore, but I needed to hear that because I was like, "That's true." Like, yes, we all worry about financial security and shit for our kids, but that is not why. Well, that's not why you're making them make straight A's. It's not any of that. It's not why you're
Mhm.
making them overfunction and do all these things. I'm sorry. Fucking write in and say rude shit to me. I don't care. That's not why. It's based from a place of fear and because you want to be seen a certain way. So I know that to be the truth. And so when I see that and I think back to the amount of times I as a child, because it was always those fucking old men. It was always those old men, sometimes old women, but they come up to you in the store as a little girl and they just have to tell you how pretty you are and how pretty your
Yes,
hair
so
is. It's kind of like
weird.
watching Johnny Carson ask Drew Barrymore if she has a boyfriend or has a crush on someone,
Yeah.
and David Letterman doing that with Britney, shit like that. And it's like, this is disgusting. We sexualize girls way too early. And that is sexualization to be like, you're so pretty. There are so many other things you can say to a little girl, like going to their parent and going, "I'm sorry. I just wanted you to know I've really noticed how polite they've been," which I
Mhm.
did have that once with my boys at a restaurant. And I was like, oh my God, my kids, they're like the literal worst at restaurants, but they were being exceptionally good that day. But like, that's the type of compliment you give out. Quit with all this, your hair. And I did have like this hair that fucking old people just loved. It was strawberry blonde and with all these beautiful natural highlights. And oh my God, they'd touch it and they were allowed to. And
No, yeah.
yes,
Oh, oh,
yes,
hell no.
they were allowed to just come and stroke my hair and be like, you're so pretty.
That's
And I
so
know this is one of
weird.
the reasons, along with actual physical and sexual abuse, but I know this is one of the reasons that I hated hugs for so long because I still
Yeah.
to this day don't like to be touched right here, like on my shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't, just don't touch me. How about that?
That's
If you don't
so
know me, why are you touching me,
violating.
weirdo? And just how many times that I had to experience something like that. And in the name of respect for authority and making other people comfortable, you just sit there and swallow all the nasty ass feelings that are arising when someone's asking you to not be autonomous with your body.
Can you imagine touching a child's
Could not.
hair? I
Could
don't even
not.
pet other people's dogs. I love dogs, but I will not
Yes.
just pet someone else's dog. Like, that's so
Right.
weird. So why would
Yes.
you touch a child's hair like that?
Yeah. And do you understand how many people that I have had like sexual interactions with that I really didn't want to because I didn't want to hurt their feelings?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all part of this grooming process because you were being groomed
Yeah.
as by society by letting older people touch your hair and having to be okay with that. It's all part of this grooming process.
And I'm going to make people even more upset, maybe the church. By you
Oh,
have
yeah.
this respect for authority thing that the whole generation had, where you had to like literally kiss anybody older than you's ass, no matter what they were doing. They can be completely disrespecting your ass, being emotionally, verbally abusive, and you had to take it, right? You don't even know these people, and you just have to take it. Teachers, neighbors. I remember elderly people in my neighborhood. They probably weren't that old, but they seemed old to me. They're probably my fucking age, but
They're probably,
like,
yeah, they're in their 40s.
yeah, they're in their 40s, old ass bitch. Anyway, I remember the one time that I did go, and it was because I was standing up for a friend. But I yelled at this older lady because she was just being really fucking mean to my friend. And I told my grandma, and I said it with authority, like, and I don't care that I did it. Like, get me in trouble, don't give a fuck. Because I was so fucking tired of this, like, we have to just respect authority. What is respect, first of all? And what is authority? Like, this is why I can't work for anyone else anymore, because it's just made me so anti-establishment. But
Yeah.
then you add, like, everyone in the church is kind of an authority, especially when you're younger. This
Oh,
is
yeah, and you
why
don't
sexual
even
abuse is so
question
rampant.
anything.
Right,
Mhm.
because if they are older than you, they are an authority to you, and if
Yeah.
they know more about God, Jesus, all the things, they're definitely an authority. And even I mean, I knew, like, the second time I was sexually abused as a child, by then, at 5, I already knew, like, "You shouldn't be doing this." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that it still is like, but am I allowed to say that to this person because they're the authority?
Well, I feel like we weren't even allowed to question things because I remember going to like Bible study classes and stuff. Like, think how many things in the Bible don't make sense, right? But I feel like we weren't even allowed to question it or anything. It's like, this is how it is. Just accept it and shut your mouth.
Yeah, and you know what? I lived my life that way for so long because I believed everything in that book to be very literal. Like, I
I
just
actually
released an
quoted that
episode
book.
last week about this where I was, like, dying laughing because I'm like, "No, I believed with everything in me that there was a whale that
Yeah,
swallowed a human that lived inside of this whale for 3 days."
same. I didn't understand until I was like in my 20s that so much of that was just metaphors.
Honey, I'm 46 almost. We're almost 46. And, yeah, I mean, I probably stopped believing that in the last 10 years. I was like, "Oh,
No, I was the same way.
think we've been lied to."
Like, oh, they fed what was the story? They fed thousands of people with a loaf of bread. I'm like, "Oh, that's
And 3
cool."
fish, don't
Yeah.
forget, they had some fish, okay? They had some
No, I
fish.
believed all of the stories, literally.
All of them, and I was like, "Okay, so Jesus rose from the dead." Huh. All of it, all of it, and when you're taught not to question, you don't question anything, which is why our
Nothing.
society is where we're
Yeah,
at right now.
totally,
And
and that's all part of this overall grooming process. Don't question someone older than you, because that was another thing, like, he had status, he had money, so it was like, don't question him."
well, I mean, look at Hollywood as an entity anyway. All the stories that started coming out during the Me Too movement, like, oh damn, you really did just have to let them abuse you. Women in
Yeah,
Hollywood were treated like fucking animals. And
yeah.
this is why I say that the Bible was literally written to oppress women. That this construct happened so that women could be stripped of any of their own personal power, integrity, anything.
And that's another thing, like, just to go a little bit deeper in this. Who like, where did the Bible come from? It's just, like, a collection of stories that someone put together, and then all of a sudden, an entire religion is like, "This is the word that we have to follow to the T." Like, nobody even questions, like, where it came from, who wrote it, or anything. That is so scary to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. And people just be believing, and I did too, so I can't even say anything, but it's like, "Damn, man." But once you, like, the light switches and you can't anymore, wow. But that's why I'm still so triggered by all of it because it's
Yeah.
like, I wanna be a person who's just like, "That's fine if you believe that way," but unfortunately, we've gotten to a place where you believing in that way now strips me of some personal authority, you know? Like, the whole, like, ban on abortions and shit.
Mhm.
Honestly, that is when I actually started opening up to what this whole world is and getting very feminist and anti-patriarchy, all the things. I finally understood all the shit my kid had been saying to me for a while. And because
Yeah.
before I was like, okay, yeah, honey, you're just Gen Z, that's fine. But then when the anti-abortion stuff started, I started like talking to him about it and he would show me like this is a system, mom. This is a whole system that you're missing here. And I'm like, oh my God, we really are just being run by men in their depravity. Like,
Yeah.
I think we touched on this briefly about that fucking school online for how to rape people. I was like, "Do I
Wait,
censor this?" Whatever. Yeah,
no,
like
we didn't talk
63
about this.
million men accessed this site, like, last month or the month before. It's like the site, like, where you can like, there's modules for grooming and all kinds of shit and how to get what you want no matter what.
Wait, is this on the dark web or just regular internet?
I couldn't tell you that, but search
Um,
on TikTok and you'll see a couple videos about it, but it's, like, really bad. 63 million men in 1 month accessed a website to teach them how to rape women.
I'm really hoping that part of that 63 million was just morbid curiosity and not actual education. But yeah, that's a lot and that's really
Well, here's the
disturbing.
problem. Here's the problem is that morbid curiosity turns in to something far more than that when you get intrusive thoughts that are born from viewing material like that, and then also all this shame that religion has shoved down your throat.
Mhm.
Because I'm sorry, I bet you 63 million of those men were fucking, Christians. Sorry, gonna say it. You know what I mean? Like, I bet
Yeah,
you they have all this repression, and that's how sexual depravity comes about, is intrusive thoughts that you feel so much shame about. I think some of them start as normal thoughts. Like,
right.
it is normal for men and women to, like, think about other people naked, to view pornographic material, to, like, yes, there's a whole discussion about women being taken advantage of in the porn industry, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just it's a normal thing to be a little hedonistic. That's
Yeah,
not abnormal. I actually think that's the way we're wired to be.
agree. Yeah.
And I don't think that they spent so much time, especially because one of the ways that they have oppressed us is to make, and I mean we as women, is to take the joy out of sexuality and our sexual prowess. And we have so much of our like magic wrapped up in that. You know what
Well,
I
I think
mean?
and I think that's what scares men though, like how powerful we can be energetically.
Yes, exactly. And so I think that I know people who say, like, literally say, "Well, if I thought it, I might as well do it," in terms of, like, having affairs, things like that, because they really do
Ugh.
believe in the, like, penny for a pound thing that the Bible supposedly said, every
I don't
sin's
even know
the
what that is,
same.
but
Every
um,
sin's the same, and if, thinking something is just as bad as doing
oh,
it, whatever, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm
interesting.
sorry, but your brain's literally capable of thinking of anything." Like,
Right.
no.
My
No,
brain
it's
says
not the
some really
fucking
stupid
same.
shit on a daily basis.
Oh, I've thought all kinds of weird shit that I had to go, like, be like, "Brian, what is this?" And he's like, "Your brain's capable of thinking, so that's called
Yeah.
an intrusive thought." That was, like, when I first met him. I can't believe I even felt safe to tell him, but that's what shame dies in safe places. Like, so if young people, and I don't wanna just, like, make this exclusive to boys, although men are the one predominantly, creating the sexual assault in children, but, like, this is a universal thing where when you have a shameful thought and then you go, "Oh my god, so much shame," and you just try to bury it, it's gonna come back with a vengeance. It
Yeah.
compounds. Shame just compounds. And so I really truly believe that's how. Yes, I've seen these things in kids where they're just wired differently or they got really fucked up really young, but, like, for the most part, I think it started with, like, Jesus told you not to do this, so you better not do this. Like, don't think about sex, don't even masturbate.
And
Don't
anytime
even
you're
masturbate?
how many times when you've been told not to do something does it make you wanna do it 10 times more?
Oh, dude, straight up, straight up. So, I'm also a victim of the, like, don't be a sexual human being, right? So, I was, like, fucking 20 years old when I had my first orgasm. Oh my god. After that, I was masturbating probably like 4 times a day for a little bit because I was trying so hard not to, and, like,
Yeah.
accessing free porn sites and shit,
Mm.
like, because the internet was, like, still relatively
Yeah, it
new
was
at the
different
time.
back then, yeah.
And so and then I would just feel so guilty and so shameful about it that I would have to do it again because that's all I've been thinking about because of
Yeah.
the shame and guilt. So, like, oh my god, it was like a 2-week time frame where, like, anytime I wasn't busy, that's what I was doing. Now, like, I mean, a couple years ago in my mental health crisis, I was fucking that much, using the toy, whatever. Like my body has a very like hyper aroused like reflex to things. So like I just don't give a shit. Like I take care of it,
Mhm.
move on. But oh
Yeah,
my God, the shame. The shame made me feel like such a dirty ass bitch. Like so dirt. Like I'm a dirty person. All
yeah.
because like Jesus told me not to be sexual. Well, fuck you. I'm a bisexual. How about that? The real Jesus wouldn't say that. He was enlightened. He'd be like, "Get it, girl. You figured out how to make it work? There you go."
Yeah, I know, at least you're not sleeping around. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, but I've done that too, so,
Yeah.
whatevs. It just is what it is. I pick your poison, I guess, but the divorce crazies are real, man, and I had all this, like,
Mm.
trauma wrapped up in sexuality and, like, not feeling desired and whatever, so, yeah, I've done it all,
Also,
but
we don't talk about it, so it doesn't feel normalized. So then there's that other layer of shame because it just feels like a
well,
stigma.
and this is why women shame each other
Yeah.
because of their own projections. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
th- and this is what it's so easy to manipulate us because all we have to do is make us hate ourselves so that we'll go spend all this money on products and, services and whatever and keep the whole fucking economy going. And also, if we hate each other, we're never gonna, like, come together. I mean, there's so much separation between women. Like, I
No, I
feel it all the
agree.
time where it's like, if you don't fit in a certain, like, category, then we're just not and I mean, I perpetuate this too because, like, if you're I'm sorry, I'm not super close with people who have, like, crazy different beliefs than me. I'm just not. But I
Yeah.
don't, like, hate them, and I'm not projecting my shit onto them, you know? Just more like, "You stay over there, honey." But, like, I just I think that if we could understand what the goal here is, which is all these people want us to hate ourselves and hate each other, wonder why. How does the world benefit from women not appreciating one another?
Yeah.
Benefits a lot because we don't tell each other the shit that we need to share with people.
Yeah. Totally
So,
agree.
like, those girls, people I've stayed away from a lot of the Epstein stuff, but those people, so much of why they couldn't tell anyone what was happening is because of how much women are made to hate themselves and each other. Not
Yeah.
just the shame of the events, but who do I go to? Who's safe to even have a friend to talk to about
They didn't
this?
even feel
You know what
safe
I
going to
mean?
their parents, friends. Yeah.
Right, right. And there's so many reasons for that, and they're intentional. Like you said, that's part of the grooming. Make you hate yourself. I mean, this is why so many people are married to people who are emotionally abusive to
Yep.
them. They've been groomed and primed for that.
And honestly, I used to be like that. I used to be in shitty relationships because I was like, this is all I deserve. This is all there
Mhm.
is.
Hey, you know that, I've been meaning to ask you this, but so Uranus moving into Gemini for you, I think that was the transit, but I've been hearing for a few weeks now that, like, either an ex would roll back around for you
Ew.
or new love.
I'll take the new love.
So you're gonna have to let me know if
Okay.
somebody starts, looking
I'm
a
like
little
so
appealing.
focused on work and I'm so oblivious to love. So this might be interesting.
Hey, maybe just open to it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like now you're seeing the yes signs everywhere because you're open to see it. Your
Yeah.
eyes are open, you're looking. You know what I mean? Maybe,
Ooh.
maybe.
So is this based on rising? Is that why you're saying it's different
Yeah,
from me? Okay.
yeah. I'm trying to look. Is it your fifth house?
I don't know. You know that.
I don't even remember what it I don't remember if that was the transit or if it was something else. Do I have you in my little thing? Yes, I do. Maybe it's just because it's leaving your 7th house, which is, like, relationships. It's in your 8th house, Uranus is now, but you have Chiron in the 7th house, which is, like, your big wound.
Yeah, I remember Chiron from my was it called cartography reading
Yeah,
after I went to Morocco.
yeah. Mine's also at 16 degrees Taurus, but it's in my 2nd house, so it's not I mean, relationships are a big deal for me too, but that's not where my Chiron is, but yeah, so I don't know if that's why they're saying that, like, it'll get better or something is because it's out of that house for you. Um,
Yeah, I hope something gets better soon.
that's interesting. Now I'm wondering that had to have been it. That had to have been what I was thinking of or what I'd been hearing because there weren't any other major ones happening around that time. But was like, "Ooh, I wonder if Angie's been talking to someone and I don't know about it."
No, I've been
Well,
head down. I feel like the only time I even leave the house is to surf or run errands.
don't you go to the gym?
Yes.
Maybe finally some guy that's not annoying is gonna
Uh, oh, that would be
communicate with
interesting. We'll see.
we shall. Okay, well, I have a client.
Yes, I have another call too.
Thank you for letting me, get all my
Bye.
shit off.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta do our final plug
Oh,
for Olipop.
yes. Thank you, Olipop, for our future sponsorship. Appreciate you so much with my what's this called again? Ridge Rush and Angie's Cream Soda. We do appreciate you, and we
Thank
are
you.
looking forward to your sponsorship.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Before you go, make sure to check the show notes for all the links. You can join us on Patreon to get our weekly companion, The Unquiet Lowdown, and explore the other membership offers waiting for you there. And if you're enjoying the show, it means so much when you hit that follow button and give us a 5-star rating to help other souls find their way here.